My name is AndyLaVGC, and I'm here with your VGC News. Breaking news today, as Regulation D was announced overnight. Regulation D will see the introduction of every single home transfer Pokemon into the format, excluding restricted legendary Pokemon. As you can see here, there's an extensive list of banned Pokemon who were eligible for home transfer but will not be allowed in the format, including Mewtwo, Mew, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Dialga, Dialga again, Palkia, Palkia Origin Form, Giratina, Giratina again, Arceus, Meloetta, Diancie, Hoopa, Hoopa Unbound, Volcanion, Magearna, Zacian, Zacian Crowned, Zamazenta, Zamazenta Crowned, Eternatus, Zarude, Calyrex, 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 Koraidon, Miraidon, and then surprisingly enough, Walking Awake and Iron Leaves will not be allowed in the upcoming format. We here at AndyLaNews, at the VGC News Network rather, believe that this is due to them being treated as mythical Pokemon because of their event-only distribution. It's anybody's guess as to whether this will change in the future with the introduction of maybe a way to catch them in the game that isn't just raid battle events. Excuse me, they're mowing the lawn outside, and it is so loud, we're just going to wait for them. I live next to a golf course, and they're always mowing this golf course right when I want to record something, and it is just a little bit annoying. This is taking a really long time. I need to get me a soundproof room. Okay, I think they're gone. Now to go over the list of newly usable Pokemon, I will highlight any specific ones that I think are particularly of interest. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Alolan Raichu, Alolan Diglett, Alolan Dugtrio, Alolan Meowth, Galarian Meowth, Alolan Persian, Hisuian Growlithe, Hisuian Arcanine, Galarian Slowpoke, Galarian Slowbro, Alolan Grimer, Alolan Muck. This is a Pokemon I think has a lot of potential. Same thing with Hisuian Arcanine. Hisuian Arcanine has Rock Head, which means it doesn't take recoil from recoil attacks. And it also has Head Smash, which is just an amazing combination. We've had it on a couple of Pokemon before, but none of them have been very good Pokemon. Arcanine has decent stats, so we will see if it can do something. It also has access to moves like, Flare Blitz and stuff like that. And really, it only has it really only has 3 weaknesses, which are Rock, Water, and Ground, and you could just Terrasilize to get rid of those. So we'll see what's going on with that. Maybe Galarian Slowbro does stuff, but I feel like it's going to be in kind of the same position as regular Slowbro. Same thing for Slowking, where Flutter Mane is just a little bit too strong with Shadow Ball and just knocks you out. Alolan Muck, I do think could be super cool. It was really, really good when we had it in Sun and Moon, and I'm thinking it might be good here. Fairy type is neutral into it, but you do resist Ghost type, so you're kind of okay into Flutter Mane. Alolan Muck just has a lot of things going for it. The typing is Poison Dark's a really good typing. You really only have one weakness, and that is Ground type, which is there's a decent chunk of Ground types in the format, but I don't think it'll be that big of a problem for it. They're mowing again. You hear them? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could do stuff. Hisuian Voltorb and Hisuian Electrode. I really think Hisuian Electrode can maybe do something. If you don't know, right now, currently, Electrode is the fastest Pokemon that we have in the format. And with the introduction of all of these Pokemon, Hisuian Electrode and Electrode, because they have the same speed stat, they'll be the second fastest Pokemon in the format right after Regieleki. So there's a chance that this Pokemon can do stuff because you don't have to Terrasilize to get that Grass typing and get Grass coverage the same way that you do with regular Electrode. And we did see Electrode do well at a regional, so there you go. Cantonian Tauros, Cantonian Articuno, Galarian Articuno. This is always a Pokemon to look out for. I think it's probably going to end up in the same place it did in Sword and Shield, which is, it's there, but it's not great. Zapdos from Kanto and Galarian Zapdos. I think both of these Pokemon are probably going to be pretty decent, especially just Zapdos. We don't have a whole lot of Electric-type Pokemon in the format right now, but if we get, just Zapdos is such a good Pokemon, I really think it's going to do stuff. Same thing with Galarian Zapdos. Right now, our only really Defiant users are they are King Gambit and I don't know why I can't think right now. King Gambit and Annihilate, and Galarian Zapdos is just a really good alternative to them because they all have like 3 completely different typings. Moltres and Galarian Moltres, I think I think Moltres can maybe do something. Rock is not that common of a coverage typing right now, but also Galarian Moltres is probably still going to be a good Pokemon like it was before. It's going to be harder with Fluttermane around, but you kind of have like this yin and yang relationship with Fluttermane where it hits you for weakness, but I guess you don't hit them for weakness because they're Fairy Ghost. You resist one of their stabs, but not the other one, but the Fairy one is really the bigger problem. Cyndaquil, Quilava, Typhlosion, and Hisuian Typhlosion. I think Typhlosion can maybe do things just because it's a really fast eruption Pokemon. You got to think that Scarf, Terrafire, Eruption in the Sun is going to do chunks to things, and that's really something to look out for. Hisuian Typhlosion is weak to Fluttermane, so I don't know. We'll see. Wooper, Quagsire. Quagsire is always cool. Unaware is a very cool ability. Maybe it'll do things. There's Galarian Slowking. Take all the stuff I said about Galarian Slowpoke, plug it in right here. Hisuian Quillfish, I think, is going to be surprisingly good with Eviolite. Quillfish has decent stats, and this is just Quillfish with a better typing. And it has Intimidate. I think this could be like a surprise, really good like Intimidate Pokemon. Really only time will tell, but we'll see. Hisuian Sneasel. I don't have anything to say about Hisuian Sneasel the same way I do about Quillfish, sorry. Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf. These Pokemon are interesting. I think the most interesting one for me is Azelf. Azelf becomes the best Explosion Pokemon now. So if you want to run some sort of Explosion Revival Blasting strat, Azelf is your guy. It has the highest attack stat of all Pokemon that learn Explosion, and it's also got 115 base speed, which is nothing to laugh about. It's a pretty good base speed. Heatran. I think Heatran could be good. Hard walls Fluttermane, which is really important. Even like Power Gem is neutral, so that's super good. Cresselia is always a good Pokemon. I don't know if it's going to be as good with Fluttermane running around and just Shadow Ball it, but you can Terrasilize get around that, so we'll see. Oshawott, Duat, Samurott, and Hisuian Samurott. I think Hisuian Samurott, with its ability to just like set spikes, could be really good. We'll see if it can get around its weakness to Fairy to do stuff here. It is kind of slow, so it's going to be... We'll see. I think Hisuian Lilligant could be good. It has its own... It has basically physical Quiver Dance, which could be really cool. I'd have to look at its moveset to really be able to tell you. I wonder if it gets like after you and stuff. Because I think it is just faster than regular Lilligant, so if it gets after you, it might be better than regular Lilligant. Basculin's not super important, but we'll get to Basculegion in a second. Hisuian Zora and Hisuian Zoroark are both coming in. Hisuian Zoroark is going to be a funny Pokemon to use. I don't know if it's going to be good, but it does only have one weakness in Dark typing, which is super relevant. But there are a lot of Dark types in the format right now. Next up, we have Braviary from Hisui, which is a cool Pokemon with competitive. I think it has competitive. Does it have competitive? Ooh, this is going to mess up my whole deal here. And it has Defiant. That's right. But it has Sheer Force Hurricane. Sheer Force Hurricane. That's the thing that we're going to talk about. Sheer Force Hurricane hits so hard. Tornadus is going to become the new best prankster Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there might not even be a reason to run like Talonflame or maybe Murkrow just because it has Haze, but I don't think Talonflame is going to be better than Tornadus. Covert Cloak Tornadus is going to go off. Same thing for Thundurus. Thundurus is going to be a really good prankster Pokemon and still a really good Defiant Pokemon. Both sets. So this is still going to be one of those things, just like in Sword and Shield, where you're really going to have to look out for both sets. Landorus. New best Intimidate Pokemon. Actually, I don't know. Arcanine might still have a beat just because Arcanine is weak to less things that are relevant. Landorus loses pretty hard to like Iron Bundle. So that might be an issue for it, but we'll see. I think it's probably still going to be good, but I don't know if it's going to be super good. I do think that, like, Landorus Incarnate with Sheer Force stuff is going to be, like, way better than we've seen it before. Didn't really have a chance to shine with Dynamax, so in a non-Dynamax format with Terrasilization, where you can just like that Terra Ground Earth power coming off of sheer force is going to be insane. Oh my goodness. Chespin, Quilladin, Chestnut. Chestnut could be cool. Bulletproof is a really cool ability. I don't know how good it's going to be though, because Bulletproof does not block Moonblast. So if Bulletproof blocked Moonblast, I think it would be onto something. But it does not block Moonblast, so it's kind of anybody's guess as to whether it's going to be good or not. I don't know what Delphox does, so don't at me. Froakie, Frogadier, Greninja maybe could be good. They really nerfed Protein pretty hard, but Meowscarada did manage to be good for a format. Greninja kind of occupies the same place, except it usually runs special moves, so we'll see. I think Greninja is just a wait-and-see Pokemon. The big thing about Carbink is that it gets Power Split. It gets Guard Split. Guard Split's the move that I'm thinking of, I think, yes. Meaning that you can now run Chansey Guard Split shenanigans with Carbink, and Carbink just has a really good typing right now. I mean, obviously you're 4 times weak to Steel, but there isn't that much Steel coverage in the format, so we'll kind of see. Hisuian Sliggoo and Hisuian Goodra. These are Pokemon that could be really good. Hisuian Goodra has just massive bulk and a really good typing. You're really only weak to ground and fighting. But I don't know. The format hits so hard, I don't know if we have a place for a Pokemon like Hisuian Goodra. Only time will tell. Hisuian Avalugg is a sleeper pick, honestly, I think. I got this Pokemon in random battles the other day, and it took a 4 times effective fighting type move, and literally it only took like 25%. So, again, another really bulky Pokemon, but there are a lot of special attackers, and Avalugg just can't deal with them, so we'll see. Rowlet, Dartrix, Decidueye, and Hisuian Decidueye. I don't know about these Pokemon. Maybe Hisuian Decidueye does stuff. Maybe Decidueye does stuff just because it has like Shadow Sneak. I don't know. It's possible. Grookey, Thwackey, Rillaboom. We finally have a consistent grassy terrain setter. I think it'll be good just for that because grassy terrain is really good. But without Grassy Glide, it's not going to be quite as potent as it was in Sword and Shield. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's still going to be good. It's still Rillaboom. It still has Fake Out, U-Turn. Grassy Terrain, Wood Hammer is still going to do. You could even throw a Terra Grass on top of that. Terra Grass, Grassy Terrain, Wood Hammer. It's going to do stupid amounts of damage. But you don't have Grassy Glide, so it's not going to be as good as it was last generation. Scorbunny, Raboot, Cinderace could be good, but again, they nerfed Protein and Libero, so we'll see if it can do the same amount of stuff. But Meowscarada was good for a while. It's only really not good now because it's not fast enough, and also it's weak to Flutter Mane. Cinderace is not weak to Flutter Mane, and Court Change could be huge here. We'll just have to wait and see. Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon. Inteleon is a very fast water type. If you don't know, it outspeeds Regieleki when it's holding a Choice Scarf, which means it's not going to outspeed Iron Bundle, so that is kind of an issue. But it is very fast Pokemon, very fast water type, and rain teams are on the rise, and you know that Terra Water Snipe Shot in the rain is going to do stupid amounts of damage. Berserker is a Pokemon that could be super good. Boosting Steel type damage is super great. We'll see if we can do stuff with that. Both forms of Urshifu, they're probably going to be good. There is a lot of things that hit Urshifu for weakness running around, so we'll see if it can keep up, but the ability to hit through Protect is so good that honestly, I think it's not going to matter. Regidrago being able to Terrestrialize to a different typing to get around its weakness, or just Terrestrialize the Dragon to hit harder is going to be kind of good. We have Prankster Tailwind, so like maybe there's a way to make it work. Regieleki is going to be super great. It's one of the few Pokemon that's going to outspeed Flutter Mane and Iron Bundle, but if they're booster energy, they will outspeed you. So maybe Scarfaleki's the play. I don't really know. I think Regieleki's going to be great because it's going to have like coverage now. They added some new moves to its toolkit. It can use Terra Blast. It's just gonna depend on what's going on here, but it's still going to be a phenomenal Pokemon, I think. Glastrier Spectre is going to be really interesting to have without Dynamax. Glastrier is a really good ice type, and with all of the buffs to Snow making Snow good right now, I could honestly see like a Abomasnow Iron Bundle Glastrier being like a core that could even do stuff, and that's so weird because all 3 of them are ice types, and ice has been traditionally really bad, but here we are. Spectre, I don't know about Spectre. I think it's going to be good, but like, why would you ever run it over Flutter Mane? You know what I mean? Why would you ever run Spectre over Flutter Mane? Flutter Mane has better coverage. It has better typing. It has better stats. I don't know. Spectre has a better ability, so we'll see. Weirdeer, I don't know what Weirdeer does. Maybe it does stuff. I can't really think of anything. Cleavor, I really like just for one thing, and that is Stone Axe. Stone Axe is amazing. Free Stealth Rocks. And Stealth Rocks could be really good right now. A lot of teams like Palance and stuff switch a lot. So, Palance switches a lot. Sun switches a lot, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, that Torkoal comes in and out a lot. If it's going to have to take a Stealth Rock every single time it comes in and out, I don't know. Same thing with like Rain. Like Pelipper's weak to Stealth Rocks too. Ursaluna is a stupid Pokemon. The Guts, the Trick Room is actually good in VGC. So, like, you get the Trick Room up and Ursaluna just KOs things. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for a Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that just beats Flutterman, I think, because it's pretty bulky. It can switch it on Ghost type attacks. You get the Trick Room up, and it just beats a lot of things. Basculegion, sleeper pick for Rain Sweeper. It gets Swift Swim now. I think this is going to be a really good like Swift Swim Rain Pokemon, and I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing it on some of those Rain teams, especially because it gets last respects, which is a very strong move. Sneasler does a lot of stuff with like static conditions. It does get Burden, which is pretty cool. Maybe some Burden stuff. Overquill, I think, is not as good as Hisui and Quillfish, funnily enough. But, you know, we'll see. I think the main thing about Overquill existing is that we get Hisui and Quillfish. Enamorus is going to be legal. That's super interesting. If you don't know, Incarnate Enamorus has competitive and superpower. That's a niche that it has. The other Enamorus is just really bulky with a lot of supporting stuff. I don't know exactly what it does, but Fairy Flying is a really good typing. Not a lot of things are going to be like super targeting it down, so I really think Enamorus is probably going to be really good. And then lastly, you can use Roaming for Gimmighoul. Does it have different stats from regular Gimmighoul? I don't know. Let's find out together. I don't think it does. Still just 10 speed. Yeah, it's got the same stats. That's pretty lame. Oh, no. Roaming form. 80 speed. Hey, you can do rattled stuff now. Although, I'm pretty sure they're the same move pool, so you get no attacks. So maybe you can't do rattle. You get Power Gem, I guess. Shadow Wall, Nasty Plot? I don't know. Why would you ever use it over Guldengo, I guess, right? Anyway, yeah, Regulation D is here. Get ready for it. Whenever Showdown drops it on there, I'll start playing, Reg D on Showdown. We'll have a fun time together. I'm very excited to use a lot of these new Pokemon. Are you excited? I know this started out as like a super serious news video, and I just started like rambling about stuff. I think that's better. I honestly, like, rambling is fun. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in a lot of these Pokemon. If you want to see a video where I take like my favorites and specifically talk about like movesets and stuff, let me know down in the comments. I'll do that. But Regulation D is here. Get ready for it. My name is Andrew. I'll catch you guys next time.